how what Lord has for Srimati Radharani, who is the source of all the Lakshmis. Actually, she is Mahalakshmi, the Adi Lakshmi. So the sweetness of Krishna is known in the eternal world. It is not that we have been introduced and then we know. So in the south they don't know. This is all a wrong understanding. Acharyas know this, and Acharyas have introduced this 5,000 years before itself. We are going to Alvar Tirunagari. There's a most important place, Alvar Tirunagari. There, still Namma Alvar stays. It's a fortune. Whoever is getting the darshan is actually a fortune. Let us pray that we get the darshan very nicely. And then from there, possible, we'll show the video so that all of you can take darshan who are not able to come by some circumstances. It doesn't matter if your consciousness there in the yatra, you are traveling in the yatra. Sometimes you have desire to travel in the yatra. Out of some circumstances, you're not able to come. It doesn't matter. Your consciousness should be there. Now, that is why this 10 days I'm not kept Chaitanya Bhagavat class, because at that time, suppose we are in some place, immediately we'll show you. So we are going to 25 Dividesham. I think I should introduce the yatra now in the class so that you all will know where we are going. Those who are coming, they will know where we are going. And we'll take some part of Chaitanya Bhagavat also. So those who are not coming in the yatra, they should also know. There are 13 Divyadesham in Kerala. Kerala is also known as Malaynad. So north of Guruvayur, you have 2 Divyadesham. This 2 Divyadesham is the most important Divyadesham. Every Divyadesham is important. So north of Guruvayur, you have Tiruvattakod and Tirunavai. And anyhow, Guruvayur, you are going to take darshan. Guruvayur is Thala Puranam. That is Pauranik Kshetra. It is not coming in the category of Divyadesham, but it is Pauranik Kshetra. And Guruvayur is most important. I think 1 minute. This Aparna Mataji put in the group, if they can join the yatra, if they put this in the group, that link something about yatras, if you can put in the yatra group. Anyway, so Guruvayur is very important kshetra. Generally, people who have body diseases, pains, arthritis, they go Guruvayurappa and solve the problem. So he is known for removing the pain in the body. Anyhow, there is a pain in the mind also for many people. So that also mind diseases, body diseases are cured. So 2 Divyadesham are there in the north. Then while traveling to Shenganur, we have again 2 Divyadesham, Tirumuri Kalam, a very important place, very, very important place. Lakshmana Bharata meeting was Lakshmana had a doubt. He had a doubt in Bharata. So he had done some offenses. So what beautiful talks they have. So Tirumuri Kalam, this is one of the Divyadesham. So carry some notebook also with you so that you will know what is there. Tirukattakara, this is one Divyadesham there. And then we come to Shenganur. Again, Shenganur, Tirushenganur, this is one Divyadesham in Shenganur. Tiruvalla is Divyadesham. Tirukadittanam, this is also Divyadesham. Aranamula, that is Tiruvaranmilai, that is also Divyadesham in Shenganur. Tirupulliyur, this is also Divyadesham. 6 Divyadeshams are there in Shenganur. That means on that day we are practically taking 8 Divyadesham darshan. The next day we are going to Thiruvananthapuram. That is Thiruvananthapuram. That is Divyadesham. Again, Thiruvananthapuram, there are so many beautiful pastimes. Then on the way to Kanyakumari, you have Thiruvanparisaram, the beautiful place, the most beautiful place. That is where Kulashekara Alvar, he goes to the eternal world. Thiruvanparisaram. And then you have Tiruvattar, also beautiful place. Then Kanyakumari Darshan, Kanyakumari, where Durgaji is in the form of Kanya, waiting for Lord Shiva to come and marry her. So this again, there is a nice pastime. And this is how we are going to reach Kanyakumari. Next day on 8th, practically 11 Divyadesham Darshan is there. 11. That means how much we have to speed up so that we can reach Alvar Tirunagarai. That is Alvar's Kshetram. That is Navatirupati is there. So on the way to Tirunelveli, we have two Dividesham, Varagunamangai and Tirukurungudi. Tirukurungudi is the place where Lord comes in the form of a small child and gives manna, Tirumanna. Tirumanna means Urdu Pundram you put Tilak, Tirumanna to Ramanujar because he did not have Tirumanna. So he comes and gives, and Ramanujar applies this Tirumanna to this child. When he enters temple, he is wondering that Lord had come, and in this way the child accepts whoever applies the tilak, that person becomes a guru. Lord accepts Ramanujar as the guru. Beautiful place, Tirukurungudi. And that is a day we have to really rush off because 9 Dividesham, we have to somehow, all are very close by. You cannot have a cell phone and then do photography and all those things. We have to be really smart in the yatra because 11 Dividesham and all are most important Dividesham. So in this way, it is 13 in Malaynad and 11 in Pandyanad. From Kanyakumari, when you are traveling, that is from Kanyakumari to Tirunelveli, this all comes in Pandyanad. Pandyanad means now Chennai has come. Chennai side, Tamil Nadu side. Till Kanyakumari, it is Malaynad. So we should know different Nadu. And Badrikashram, all this comes in Vadunadu. So we'll be having these discussions also. As much as possible, carry some notebook. This is because it's an educational yatra. It is not just sightseeing, passing the time, buying some. Try to avoid shopping as much as possible. Try to learn more in the yatras. Okay, where are we in 23rd verse?
Mother is 75 verse. 23.75.
So Lord says, may you all attain devotional service. Do not speak anything other than the names and the qualities of Krishna. आपने सवार प्रभु करे उपदेशे Krishna Nama Mahamantra Shunaha Harishe. The Lord personally instructed everyone. Hear the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and be happy. Conditioned souls devoid of devotional service to Krishna. 1 minute. 1 minute. The Lord personally instructed everyone. Hear the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and be happy. Conditioned souls devoid of devotional service to Krishna are always eager to gratify their senses. To benefit these living entities, Shri Gaurasundar instructed them to happily hear the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Those who are compelled to hear the holy names of the Lord are not very enthusiastic to chant. Those who are compelled. You cannot compel someone to chant the holy name. If you do that, then they are not very enthusiastic. Therefore, it is instructed that one should happily chant or hear the awarded Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because conditioning is so strong that a person doesn't accept it. That is why somehow one should make devotional service very interesting. You cannot compel, you cannot say, if you don't chant, you'll go to hell. All these things, these words should be avoided. Hare Krishna, somebody is having Hare Krishna chanting, the taste in chanting, it is Krishna's mercy. Somebody is not having taste in chanting, then you should pray for that person. Somehow Krishna give him the taste for chanting. Because again, taste, ruchi, this ruchi has to come from Krishna. One has to happily chant. Not that he's chanting because there's a boja. Oh, I have to chant 16 rounds, somehow what to do, I have got initiated. It has to come out that without Hare Krishna Mahamantra, my tongue is just a desert. Therefore, it is instructed that one should happily chant or hear the awarded Hare Krishna Mahamantra and with full enthusiasm. So, Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya, Tattat Karma Pravartana, Sangatyaga, Sato Bhaktehe, Shadvir Bhaktir Prasiddhati, the Utsaha should be there. Utsaha is not there in performing devotional service, then what is the use? Since living entities averse to the Lord's service are always associating with non-devotees and taking their sinful counsel, they naturally remain aloof from hearing topics of the Supreme Lord. So people, when they sit together, they gossip so much. That's why it is said, person who is not interested in devotional service, sangatyaga, just give up. Give up such association. What is the meaning of give up? Try to be very, very minimal with such people. Try to talk less with such people. And the misfortune is, if the same people are within your family members, then what to do? Then as much as possible, avoid talking without doing any offenses towards them. Because if you do offenses, if you neglect them, then also they will feel offended. The process for remaining aloof from material thoughts is called mantra. See, mantrayatehe mantra. So what is mantra? That is why it is said, always chant the holy name and chant the mantras. If you know one verse of Bhagavad Gita, go on chanting. Go on chanting so that you don't talk something else. Because the process to remain aloof is mantra. Mantrayatehe. What harms the what harms the mind? It are all the useless talks which harms the mind. Useless thoughts, useless talks. Instruction in the form of sound vibration is the only method for becoming free from thoughts of enjoyment and renunciation. Again, just see. Bhukti, mukti, spruha yavat. Bhukti is also spichachi and mukti is also pisachi. The same this verse again put it in the group. Mukti, mukti, spruha yavat. So it comes, spruha yavat. It immediately sprouts up. But then the thoughts of enjoyment, that is bhukti, is also, by mantra, you can become free from bhukti. Even the so-called renunciation, you can free from the so-called renunciation also. Oh, let me give up everyone. What to do? I am so frustrated in my life. You cannot give up anyone and you cannot run anywhere. Even if you try to do that also, the thoughts cannot be given. Where is a dustbin where you can put the thoughts? Artificial renunciation is not encouraged by Krishna. Krishna says it is only mithyachara. One achieves perfection in chanting mantra when one keeps the vibrated sound within his heart and controls his materially attached mind. So the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is actually seen within the mind. When you chant, you have to see. If you are able to see Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You are able to see Hare Krishna Mahamantra within your mind. That means you have kept the Hare Krishna Mahamantra within your mind. And it is easy to control the materially attached mind. One person's mind is different from another person's mind. Therefore, the act of remembrance is intended for an individual. Now just see. Everyone's mind is different. You may think something, I may think something. But act of remembrance is for whom? Is for the soul. Soul is part and parcel of Krishna. For Krishna, there is no bheda. Everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. Mind thinks in different ways. That is how it carries the impressions, and in this way it gets different types of bodies according to the impressions which is carried. But Hare Krishna Mahamantra can be done by the soul. Just concentrate on Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There it is not the mind which is focusing, it is actually the soul which is focusing on the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Therefore, the act of the chanting of the holy name Hari by an individual is called mantra. So don't say mind is thinking of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. No, it is living entity which is focusing on Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is where it becomes mantra. The mind becomes free from all the troubles of bhukti and mukti. So a very, very subtle subject. It's a very subtle subject. In mind, you think a lot, right? But in the mind, if you see Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is not mind which is thinking. It is the Hare Krishna it is the soul which is concentrating on Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That is the time the mind becomes free from bhukti and mukti. A group of people can all chant the Mahamantra together. Many people can give advice that is favorable to the process of sadhana, or spiritual practice. Therefore, there are many Shiksha Gurus instructing spiritual masters, but only one Diksha Guru initiating spiritual master. The heart is purified by the Mahamantra and the other mantras. As a result of heart's purification, all the senses becomes free from the temporary propensity for material enjoyment and realize the eternal nature. So the tongue is vibrating, but the mind is not focused in Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Then what is the use of tongue vibrating? It's only mechanical. There are some people who go on carrying the japmala everywhere. So they just vibrate, but the mind and thoughts goes here and there. That is why it's a very subtle subject. Though we can take the japmala, move around, chant, instead of talking something nonsense, we can chant. But mind is yet not filled with the bliss of Hare Krishna. That is why one has to concentrate. If one concentrates on Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, even though he may be moving with the japmala, his mind is in bliss. Though he may be talking, though he may be moving with the public, but still his mind is focused. His mind is free because he is concentrating in Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Prabhupada says when you chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we have to focus also at the same time little loudly so that I can hear the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. As a result of heart's purification, all the senses becomes free from the temporary propensity for material enjoyment and realizes the eternal nature. Then insignificant and abominable conceptions cannot become prominent. One who is not able to happily accept these facts is destined to remain in misery. So one who is not able to accept the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra solves all the problems of the life. What happens? You remain in misery. The last word will take Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Yes, the words itself is Maha Mantra. Although mantra is composed of the Hare of Lord's name, since the fourth dative case is used in address, it indicates self-surrender. Every name in the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is a vocative address. There is no use of the fourth dative case as in the mantra. So one is vocative address. I am calling. Vocative address. I am calling. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So when I am calling, why am I calling? So that I can serve. And if I say, oh, I am surrendered, it's nice. But when you say I am surrendered, then you are not seeking for the service. Just by saying surrendered is not enough. That is why calling and getting surrendered. Calling, oh Hare, oh Radhe, engage me in Krishna's service. Oh Krishna, please engage me in Radharani's service. So in this, we are calling both of them. And oh Krishna, remove all my contaminations by serving you. So in this, we are calling Krishna, Hare, Hare, Hare Krishna. You are calling Radharani. The Smartas refer to the Maha Mantra as Taraka Brahmanama. Taraka Brahmanama. What is Taraka Brahmanama? The holy name that delivers everyone. We are not interested in that. We know that it is going to happen. But we are more interested in service. That is where is the difference between Smartas chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and a Vaishnava chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. For a Smarta, it is for the deliverance. Oh Lord, please deliver me. We are not asking anything, we want service. That is a Vaishnava's address to Lord. All Smartas are more or less impersonalists. So their belief is that one can attain impersonal renunciation after finishing one's material enjoyment. Persons who are liberated from the clutches of the karmis and jnanis are devoid of the material desires. It took a long time for me to understand this subject. Till I met one of the scientists. He used to come 2-3 years in our class. But he used to write books on Mayavadis. He was impersonalist, though born in a Madhya family. Then he used to dance very nicely whenever Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, close his eyes, go in ecstasy. So one day, many of them know also his name. So one day we had counseling program in his house. That time all of us took the Japmala and we sat for chanting. And he just closed the eyes and he went in long meditation. Other devotees were chanting, but he was silent and just like a murti he was sitting. Then I told, we all were chanting what you were doing, concentrating. As on whom? On myself. I said, why? Because I have become God. I said, is it how I have controlled my mind and senses? By chanting so many years, now 2-3 years he chanted. Now I have become equal to God. That means they just want to come out of the miserable situation. This is known as impersonalism. And somehow consider oneself as good as God. That means Brahman. I am merging in Brahman. Lord is not a person. I am not a person. Everything is Brahman. Jot mein Jot. All these things you can understand. Then just to tease him, I told. I called his wife and I told, remove Lord's photo and just keep his photo. Now he has become God. Put Chandan Har on him. You know how angry he was. Till today he is angry because I told like this. It is truth. If you are God, you should be hung on the wall. So he could not tolerate that. That means you want to become God, but when you're treated like that, put Chandan Har, you cannot see your death. Anyhow, Lord never dies. We have Lord's photo and Lord are non-different. But our photo, if hung on the wall, that means what? We are gone. If you're putting the Chandan Mala on top of that. Persons who are liberated from the clutches of the karmis and the jnanis are devoid of material desires. People controlled by selfish desires become self-enjoyers. Whereas people desirous of liberation give up material enjoyment and endeavor to achieve liberation to rectify the situation. So they just use Hare Krishna Mahamantra, they just use some aspects of karma yoga so that they can free themselves from this material world. But by chanting the Mahamantra under the shelter of such desires, the urge for insignificant fruits becomes strong. Now, what is that insignificant fruit? Mukti. Now I want mukti. I want to merge with the Supreme. The vocative address for the Hare, Hari is Hare. Vocative address for Hara is also Hare. When the Swayam Rupa name of Krishna, the omnipotent Swayam Prakash, name of Rama and Hari are chanted by a tongue devoid of material desires, it is no longer possible to engage in service within the 14 worlds, the Vraja river or Brahmaloka. That means when we are calling, we should be very, very alert.
Okay.
What we are doing, we are calling. So we are calling Lord, so that we will not be engaged in the service of this material world. We are not engaged in the service even in the Virja. We are not engaged in the Brahmaloka also. But there is no service. Where is the question of engagement? Then the opportunity for engaging in service begins only in Parama Vyoma or spiritual sky. What is Virja? Virja is the river which is in between Parama Vyoma, that is spiritual world, and the material world. It bifurcates. If one considers the degree of rasa found in Krishna's Swayam Prakash Tattva, Baladeva, and in his Baladeva's subsequent Prakash and Vilasa expansions, one will find that the full manifestation of all rasa is Krishna, who is Akhila Rasamriti Murti, Akhila Rasamrita Murti, the transcendental form of attraction for all kinds of devotees. Therefore, there is no possibility of the full manifestation of rasa in personalities who are abodes of partial rasa. That is why plenary portion of the plenary portion more or less engage in the service of Swayam Rupa. When people realize devotional service to Krishna, they attain the service of Radha Ramana. Rather, they considering themselves Atmaram, one who takes pleasure in Atma or spirit self. So Krishna is Swayam Rupa and Baladeva is Swayam Prakasha Rupa. Prakasha Tata, Swayam Prakasha, Baladeva. And expansion of Baladeva, they are further expansions of Prakash and Vilasha pastimes. Now you will not find all the rasas in such partial and manifestation and also plenary portions, portions of the plenary portions, we cannot find all the rasas. Whatever that time is required, that much rasa is exhibited. All the rasas at a time is only available with Krishna. That is why he is Akila Rasamrita Murti. He is Swayam Rupa. So now, who is taking shelter of Radha Krishna, who is devoted to Krishna, then they can attain the service of Radha Raman. Why now Radha Raman suddenly has been told? Because he gives Ramana. Ramana means bliss, so the devotees. They should not consider themselves as Atmaram, because Atmaram is the one who is taking pleasure in the Atma or spirit soul. They have nothing to do with devotional service. They are only interested in taking pleasure in their own self. So this is all devotional service. The importance of devotional service has been spoken. So we'll stop here. So Monday onwards, I'll be giving homework now for those who are not coming in Yatra. The homework will be Adi Khanda. How many chapters are there in Adi Khanda? All of you can study one chapter. The spiritual masters, that chapter, first 5 chapters. Read first 5 chapters and write down small notes based on the first 5 chapters of Adi Khanda. Is it okay with everyone? Those who are coming in Yatra will be saved.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. We will try.
Next time to avoid the homework, at least will come.
With pleasure, Mataji.
माताजी हमें तो आना है माताजी, मगर क्या करें, नसीब नहीं है हमारे.
Write down the notes. In the notes, you will find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifesting. So wherever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifests, all the eternal world, all the spiritual world is automatically revealed. While going in the Yatra, if a person is only interested in his office work, though in the Yatra, what he is doing? Everything is available, but gossiping, talking something nonsense, then opportunity is lost. But sitting at home, he is concentrating, Lord will reveal. So that is why we should understand the fortune to get the darshan and see that maximum we chant. Those who are coming in Yatras, try to avoid as much as possible material talks, chant, take and consider them oneself very, very fortunate and mentally have gratitude for everyone who is helping us, for the ones who are allowing us in their dham. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpatarubheshya kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Vaishnavindi ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.